Hey car fans, I'm Mike Berger with CarSoup.com, and this is another episode of CarSoup Car Closeups, or as we like to call them, C3. So on today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the Chevy Trax LT Redline Edition. Now, Chevrolet was nice enough to lend this to us for about a week to put it through its paces and to come out here to this beautiful park and film this review. So what exactly is the Chevy Trax? Well, the Trax is Chevrolet's smallest crossover, and those are all the rage right now. Now, at first glance, you might think it kind of looks like a little shoe. Well, that's not necessarily bad. I mean, any science fiction fan will tell you that shoes can be kind of cool. I mean, after all, the Heart of Gold from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, well, that was described as looking like a shoe, and it can go really fast and do some amazing things, kind of like this little guy. Not worrying about the Redline package, the Chevy Trax LT comes outfitted with an Ecotec Turbo 1.4-liter engine, along with a 6-speed automatic transmission. The LT package also brings a whole bunch of bells and whistles that we're going to talk about a little later. Things like, well, of course, cruise control, but a bunch of USB ports, as well as a ton of connectivity, like OnStar, for example, and the Chevy Mylink. So I've been talking about this Redline package. Well, what exactly does that give you with the Trax? Special black badging with red accents. Special black 18-inch wheels with red accent stripes. Blacked out body side molding. A black grille, and a black bow tie. The Redline package is available on the LT trim. One of the cool things that comes with the LT is all LED lighting, both up front and in back. Now don't let its overall dimensions fool you. The Chevy Trax actually has an awful lot of cargo space considering its small size. The back seats fold almost totally flat, giving you an awful lot of storage space for large items. Underneath the cargo area, you'll find the spare tire, along with a few extra storage cubbies. There's even a small storage space in the side. So here's the heart of the Trax. Now this is that Ecotec 1.4-liter turbo that I talked about earlier in the video. Now don't think you're going to win any races with this little engine, but because it is turbocharged, the thing's got a fair amount of acceleration out on the road. One thing I really like about the Trax is the Chevy Mylink infotainment system. Now this is going to include both Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Now what that's going to let you do is listen to all your own music, make phone calls, you can even do voice dictation for texts. Not that you should be texting when you're driving, absolutely not, but the phone can at least read to you if somebody does text you. It's also got navigation built into it, and it really makes driving the vehicle a really fun experience. Now, two things caught my eye immediately once I got behind the wheel of the Trax. One of them good, one of them not so good. Now, the good, this car's got a sunroof, and I really like that because in a vehicle of this size, it helps it feel a lot more spacious than it actually is. Now, what I don't like is the fact that the passenger has no armrest for the left arm. Now, the driver, sure, I've got an armrest on the door, an armrest right here on my seat for my right arm, but the poor passenger, well, they've got to kind of sit like this as they're going down the road because there's no good place for the left arm to rest. Now, despite its size, the Trax actually feels really stable on the road. I kind of expected it to feel, well, a little go-kartish, but actually it feels very capable and very stable. On some of my previous reviews, I've talked about the lack of steering wheel controls for the stereo. Now, the Trax has it right. All the controls are right here at your fingertips so that you can keep your eyes on the road ahead while you're doing things like changing the radio station or adjusting the volume. Now, don't expect the Trax to be the quietest vehicle on the road. It's not. Inside, you're going to hear a little bit of road noise. but it could be a lot worse. And frankly, I think it's pretty quiet considering the nature and size of it. Now, I'm a bigger guy. I'm about 6 or 6'1", and I had to really get the seat way back to have enough room for my legs. Now, I would feel really sorry if there was a passenger behind me because I'd be really cramping their comfort level. So let's boil this all down into what I call Mike's likes and Mike's dislikes. So what exactly does Mike like about the Chevy Trax? Well, first, I really love the sunroof. It does make the car feel spacious, airy, and it's really nice to actually open up the glass and get all sorts of fresh air. 2, I love the infotainment system. Chevy seems to really have this figured out well. I love all the controls right here on the stereo system, and having Apple CarPlay just makes this thing a delight to tool around in. 3, I love the look of it. Yeah, it kind of looks like a little running shoe, but in a cute way. You just can't help but smile when you look at the vehicle. So what does Mike not like about the Chevy Trax? Well, first, I really don't like the fact that there isn't that passenger armrest. You need to be thinking about the comfort of everybody in the car. And I know other reviewers have commented about this as well, and not just on the 2018, but on older models. And I think it's high time Chevy changed that. 2, I don't like the interior space for taller guys. Now, yes, this is a very personal thing, simply because, well, I'm taller and I'm not exactly the trimmest guy in the world. But for me, this vehicle would be kind of cramped on a long trip. This is a great commuter car around town, but for me personally, I don't think I'd feel very comfortable going long distances. 3, there are a lot of hard surfaces in this car. I mean, again, the dashboard, the door panels, they're all plastic. Now, having the Redline edition does ease that up because there are soft touch surfaces throughout the vehicle, but there are still a lot of hard surfaces that maybe Chevy might want to think about coating these in some kind of soft touch material as well. So to sum all this up, I was really prepared to not like this vehicle. I go for bigger vehicles, bigger SUVs, that type of thing. But honestly, this has been a fun little car to run around in. I've been able to do a lot of errands in this thing, go grocery shopping, commute to work, and I think that's where the Chevy Trax really shines. It's a great commuter vehicle. I could see this being an ideal vehicle for students, commuters, anyone who needs a really capable vehicle that's going to get them from point A to point B and actually carry quite a bit of stuff in the process.
This has been another episode of CarSoup Car Closeups. I'm Mike Berger with CarSoup.com, and we'll see you down the road.